were there changes that have happened to the teachers' pensions? I heard somebody talking that, well, gee, you have to be 67 before you can get benefits now as a teacher, and that was a change?
Right. Back in 2011, they approved another pension plan for new employees. So if you were hired after 2011, you were under a Tier 2 pension plan.
Gosh.
And
Just like the Chrysler guys.
Yes, similar. Yeah. So the benefits were greatly reduced. It extended the time you could retire. Yeah. So those benefits for pension 2 or Tier 2 pension are much different than those who've been working for the state for a long time. Dramatically reduced benefits. So in a way, people.
But how is that legal?
Well, these are new employees. So you can set the rules for new employees.
I get it.
But it's those employees that are working before 2011 that some of the changes that were proposed last year that were found unconstitutional. You can't diminish benefits for current employees, but
Sure.
you can change the rules for the new people who are coming in.
You just can't diminish their benefits now that you've offered them a diminished plan. You can't diminish it further.
Right.
Because they're now employees.
And actually, eventually, we have some long-term pension liability plans, but and there's some concerns that under federal law, you have to provide, as an employer, pension benefits that are equal to what Social Security provides. There's some concern that the Tier 2 pension system doesn't provide even that level of benefits. So, I think long-term that resolves the state situation as, we get further down the road and more employees retire, and those in the Tier 2, eventually the system will work its way out. It's going to be costly, obviously, once those Tier 1 people retire, but it's down the road. This situation probably eventually will resolve itself, but it doesn't mean there isn't pain in the meantime.
Well, and that's one of the questions that I had. I did a little research, and I think a lot of people don't understand that teachers don't get Social Security in Illinois. That the money that I'm paying, that 6% that I send to Social Security, and my employer sends to Social Security, that's not happening with teachers at all.
Mm-hmm.
So and this is subject to a lot of propaganda, because someone will say, oh my gosh, here's this teacher and they're getting, $6,000 a month or something as their pension, and people go, wow, that's an awful lot. But really, I mean, when you add up your Social Security and your 401k after working someplace for 30 years, it just sounds like American retirement to me. And I think a lot of people don't understand that.
No,
but why is
people
that?
realize that teachers don't get Social Security. You're right. Well, I think it was a decision made a long time ago.
That was a long time.
People often say, well, let's just turn all employees onto Social Security and 401ks.
Yeah.
But it's more complex and may actually cost the state more money.
Because you've got to match
401k.
You
a
got
lot
to
of employers
Social
match,
Security.
and you still have the Social Security tax that an employer has to pay. So you combine a 401k match with a Social Security tax that the government has to pay,
6% plus whatever.
4%. You're paying more than what the state is paying at 9% right now for pension. So it'd be more costly, especially initially, to switch. So, it's very complex, and it may not save the state money. It may cost the state even more money to say, let's switch everybody to Social Security.
So it would be, the most cost-effective thing would be to fund the pensions at the levels that they're supposed to, just do what you're supposed to do.
Well,
If they'd have done what they were supposed to do, they would have saved money as compared to Social Security plus 401k match.
yeah, I think that's what the unions argue, is that if lawmakers over the years just would have funded it adequately along the way and made sure the payments were made, we would not be in this situation right now, and that's a legitimate complaint. And
maybe it's the weakness of the union. The union should have been screaming bloody murder that wasn't being funded. I kind of remember hearing something about
but
that.
I think remember we were in different investment times. In the 1990s, the stock market was skyrocketing. I think people thought things were going to just continually go up, right? Well, we had the crash. Investments weren't turning out the way they were supposed to. So I think people, and I don't want to try to make excuses for some very bad policy decisions that were made, but I think back then they thought, well, you can make it up down the road because the stock market's going to continue to go up.
Just like the housing bubble.
Yeah, and so guess what? We had that huge that crash. financially things are very insecure, that changes the dynamics as far as policy decisions. So I'm not giving them an excuse back 10, 20 years for their decisions, but I think in the mindset those decisions were made,
You gotta understand where
a
people.
little bit. But
are
again,
coming from.
I think anybody knows that when you have to fund a retirement system, anything you do not to pay money up front, you pay in the back
Huge.
end. So that's just common fiscal sense. So what happened was just not good fiscal policy that for those who were responsible back then.
Right. And the opposite of this, if we're getting any young kids on YouTube, the money that you invest right away in the first few years is the best money to invest because it doubles and doubles and doubles, as you go on. So it's kind of the same way. This whole miracle of compound interest is it's something else.